Have you decided that you're going to lose weight and then you go to sign up for a program and you find out there's meals, supplements, shakes, a certain protocol, a subscription service, something that you have to pay for to get going and to get started? Well, guess what? Fasting does not include that. It's absolutely free, and I'm going to share with you my 3 favorite tools that can get you started with fasting today. My number 1 resource that's free is your local library. I love my local library. I use audiobooks, digital books, and I check out books from them. And I'm going to share with you some of the books that I think would be worth you going to get to help you on your fasting journey. And this is the one that got me started, so it's my absolute favorite, Fast, Feast, Repeat. I think lots of libraries have this. This gives not only a real person's account of weight loss and weight maintenance with fasting, but she's really good at doing research and bringing the 2 worlds together. Jen Stevens has really impacted my life, and I definitely think you should look for Fast, Feast, Repeat. Another one, and I actually did check this out from my library before I purchased it, was The Fast Diet. This book is by Dr. Michael Mosley, and it has not only his approach to fasting as a doctor, but also Mimi Spencer as a dietitian. Together, they come up with a diet that you can follow. I've never followed the diet, but I like all the information on here about alternate day fasting, eating 500 calorie down days, having an up day. There's so much to learn, and I got this from my library before I decided I needed it in my personal library. I checked this out from a local university's library before, again, I decided to purchase it. It's called The Fast 5 Diet, and this is by Dr. Bert Herring. This book is so simple to take in, very quick read, and I think it's going to give you some great background into fasting and why it works. And it's by a doctor, so if you need that doctor stamp, this is one that's going to give it to you. This book I have never read in its entirety because it's kind of dry, but it is a great book, a great reference. It's called The Obesity Code by Dr. Jason Fung. I've watched a lot of his YouTube videos. He's a great creator. He is a doctor as well as a fasting enthusiast, and he has helped so many patients. This book talks about how to unlock the secrets of weight loss using fasting. Wonderful book. I would be so surprised if it's not in your library. Now, the next are not 100% fasting books, but I think they're really great reads and would be wonderful for your fasting journey. This one is about appetite correction. Dr. Bert Herring wrote The Fast 5 Diet, the really small book, and this talks about correcting your appetite and how that can go hand in hand with fasting, and actually how fasting can help you correct your appetite. It's a wonderful book, another easy read, but super informative. Now, this last book has nothing to do with fasting and all about habits. This is a huge book. Maybe you've read it already, but Atomic Habits, I would almost guarantee is in your local library. It's about how habits and the habits that you form in your life, how they can have lasting impacts. So changing things here and there can have lasting impacts, even if it's a small habit that you're refining. And I think that's so applicable to fasting. Fasting is a muscle that you build up. Fasting is something that you make part of your daily routine. Well, doing that and that alone can make such a big impact in your life overall. And I think Atomic Habits can really get you inspired to change your habits, inspired to take action. This is really going to be motivational fuel for all the other fasting information that you learn. I love this book. I bought it from my personal library after I checked it out from my library. Really great read. So you read all the books from your library. What's next? You got to track your fast. I use the Zero app. I can track my fast on my watch. I can track my fast on my phone, and I really like having access to it. I use the completely free version. I don't pay for premium. There are so many fasting apps out there, and I personally have only ever used Zero, so it's the only one that I talk about because it's all that I have information on. But it's free. I can track my fast. I can go back in time and see what I've done. Now, why is this important? One, it relieves the burden of when was the last time I ate? If I hit my start and stop, very simple to keep track. I can reference my data and see where I'm at in a fast, how much longer until my eating window, helps me to plan, and it helps me to stay in line. Also, if you notice that maybe your weight is shifting in a way that you don't want it to, you can look back at your historical data and maybe you're like, hey, I see that I had longer eating windows, or I see that I didn't do as many long fasts that I was used to. And you can see how what you're doing is impacting the results that you're seeing. I love tracking. It helps me to stay in line. It removes the guesswork, and it's very motivational, especially when you're starting fasting. If you're 2 hours into a fast and you can see that on your watch or you see it in your app, you're going to be less tempted to start that over or to stop that fast to break for a little treat or a snack. It really gives you kind of the push to keep going as you're building your fasting muscle. Having the 2 hours down and seeing that you only have 16 to go, you're much less likely, or at least I was, to start it over for a little snack. So now that you believe and know about fasting, and you're tracking your fast, you need community. And I love that online communities are free for the most part. You could be an active participant on YouTube channels like mine. There are so many others. Let's pop a few up here. Being active on YouTube looks like watching videos, comments, responding to other people's comments, going on the community tab, taking polls. You can also go on Instagram. A lot of people that create content on YouTube might also be on Instagram, and it's very easy to be in direct messages there. You can comment, you can connect with other people that are following the same influencers that you like. Surrounding yourself with like-minded people is really going to help you to stick with it, because if you read the books and you understand it and you're tracking and you're seeing what you're doing, and then you have others around you that have the same encouraging thoughts, that are maybe facing the same struggles and can help you get through yours, it's really going to be much more likely that you stick with it if you have others that you're going through it with as well. There's also Facebook groups. Facebook groups are really a great way for you to be interactive with others as well as whoever's hosting the group. So there are a number of them out there. Just search in Facebook groups, 1 meal a day or intermittent fasting. You can kind of tailor it. You might find local ones. You could find nationwide ones. Facebook groups are awesome. You can post questions in there. You can post progress pictures. You can comment on other people's questions. You can search previous questions to see if maybe something that you're dealing with has been answered before. I love Facebook groups, and especially when I was a new faster, I had joined multiples, and I loved the resource that they provided me. I didn't have people in my everyday life that were fasting with me, especially at the beginning. Having connection to people all around the world that were fasting and excited about fasting was so instrumental in me keeping going, finding success, and sharing it with the world as well. Free resources are amazing, but now you need to know exactly how to get started in your daily fasting journey, and you can figure that out right here. Thank you so much for watching. Ciao, done, and ciao.